What's up, everybody? Good morning. It's Monday morning, day after Father's Day. Just a quick update on this fire, the Point Fire. A reminder that this is kind of referred to as a Lake Sonoma fire. We spent a lot of time with Incident Command. We're here right now at the Cloverdale Citrus Fair. They do an update at 7 a.m. on the dot. Just kind of a review of what happened last night. We did a bunch of updates before going to bed over the night. But this is what you can see right now. This is the active public CAL FIRE map for the Point Fire. So the area in red that we're looking at here, this is the actual area where the fire has burned. So if we're coming up here, this is the marina. This is where the marina goes down and the boats that are docked up here at Lake Sonoma sit down. Up here you can see that this is the actual face of the dam at Dry Creek. The reason this is a different color is that this has been burnt. This was a prescribed fire up here. That happens every year. Northern Sonoma County Fire does great work in doing that. Also, just to let everybody know, this is quite far from where the actual prescribed burn was earlier in the week. There's been a lot of folks who are saying, oh, this prescribed fire went over and it was the initial cause for this. There is no indication of that at this point. CAL FIRE always does an investigation report for the source investigation. But as of right now, we've spent a lot of time up here on the marina, and you could see it's right next to the road right here. So this could be a cigarette, this could be somebody chains dropping off of their trailer, it could be a variety of different human interventions or other things like this. But the wind was pretty fast right at the initial, and this is all coming from what we've heard from Incident Command, and that's why this stretch right here burnt quickly and then started to expand in these canyons back here. So here you got Merlot Lake, you also have Pena Creek coming off of this side. We have Yoakum Bridge Road, if you can get a little closer, right here. For those individuals who know Dry Creek real well, this is the valley floor of Dry Creek heading up to the dam. And Canyon Road heads out to Geyserville this way. This is actually Yoakum Bridge Road. This is where there's a spot where there's not public access. If you come up here onto kind of the Pena Creek area, there's a lot of CAL FIRE vehicles and individuals right down in this section up here. They're defending houses and structures and also making sure that this fire perimeter doesn't go back up into this area. We got a chance to see Preston and see a lot of individuals' households back here, and it's holding pretty strong. The wind is not high right now. It's definitely expected to be 15 to 25 miles. They're looking at it later this afternoon. A couple things that are nice to know is that there was active dumping by helicopters, Chinook helicopters, during the evening. And a reminder that this is a early season fire. We're in mid-June. This is not a late season fire like we've had those catastrophic Diablo winds, which are east to west winds blowing offshore. This is an onshore weather event where the wind's blowing. It's a northeast wind and it's been blowing southwest. And so if that wind is blowing southwest, a lot of that smoke is going into Windsor, Santa Rosa, covering up those areas. So reminder, air quality is a real important thing for you, your kids, anybody who's working outdoors. Make sure that you wear masks, make sure you follow, look online. You can look on Air Quality Index, AQI. So just a couple other things is that, you know, they have some notifications here of where the branch breaks and the division breaks are. These are more of their work with CAL FIRE about trying to figure out where exactly they have their individuals set up and where they have their sub-command posts. They do have a larger box that is not reminiscent of, or it's not reflected in this map itself. They don't just draw where their perceived perimeter that they want to really control this thing. But I can tell everybody that this fire is still very far north of like Mill Creek, and even if you can think about areas like Lambert Bridge down here, where Dry Creek Vineyards comes in, and where the Dry Creek store is down here. We were just up there, spent a lot of time. The weather is very calm up there. There is not a sense of panic. There's a lot of resources coming in. But as I said before, this being a early season and an onshore wind event, many of you noticed that it dropped into the 50s last night. So even though those winds are going, this is very different when the fire settles down at night, as opposed to those east to west Diablo winds that really give no sense of respite. The fire doesn't calm down at night. A lot of firefighters over the years, over our fires in 2017, 2019, 2020, and even now, say that really one of the big differences with these Diablo winds coming over is that when the firefighters and the apparatus and the other things come off for night because they can't do active engagement, is that the fire doesn't settle down with those high winds and those hot winds, those hot, dry winds. So relative humidity is going to drop this afternoon, and the winds are going to pick up a little bit. So there's still going to be very active firefighting in this zone right here. But the big thing for everybody to remember is that if you're in an area of an evacuation order, once again, don't be there. Do the best you can as you're leaving to prepare your house. That means pulling things that are flammable off your porch. That means making sure that things around your house are set up right. Make sure you have your vital documents. If you are in an area where there's still an evacuation warning, which is not a mandatory evacuation order, it's a good time to be making sure that you are prepared for if you do get an evacuation. If we get a wind change and this wind starts to come up towards this area, there's a big area of the valley. So this is not the kind of windstorm right now that's blowing embers all the way across the valley to start fires over here, which are on kind of what you would call the eastern flank of Geyserville right here, and then Hillsburg down here, and Cloverdale way up here. So we're currently here in Cloverdale. Everyone's working their butts off. Really inspired by CAL FIRE, Northern Sonoma County Fire, Sonoma County Fire District. We saw folks from Goldridge. There was an all points response requested, a surge request that went out by Incident Command yesterday to bring everybody to this event. You'll see if you look on watch duty, there's a couple other fires that are being notified. There's one up in the geysers east of Cloverdale. There's also another one that's being identified up in Yorkville, up off of kind of the area of Highway 128 heading north out of Cloverdale. Those are still small, but they're keeping their eyes on it. Weather's not perfect for firefighting, but it's better than it was yesterday afternoon, and things are looking good right now to have a big day to kind of continue to attack this. So we'll continue to provide updates throughout the day and the days that come. But once again, I'm gonna always say it, I'm gonna go back to my house. I'm gonna make sure that my gutters are all clean. I cleaned them out probably about a month ago, but I'm gonna do another check again. I'm not gonna get the weed whacker out and have a spark in my yard, but I'm gonna make sure that everything around my house, that I got good defensible space. And then I'm going to make sure, as always, that I know what my plan is with my family, where we're going to go if we do get evacuated, and I'm also going to make sure that I know where our documents are, where our files are, so that I can throw those in if we need it. So blessings to everybody. Wish we didn't have to deal with this, but at the same time, it's a reminder we live in fire country. We have weather whiplash these days, a lot of climate extremes. So smoke in the air is a sign that Mother Nature wants to burn some of this dry vegetation, and so we can do our best to protect lives first, property second, and then third is make sure that this is landscape that's protected going forward. Thank you very much. Appreciate y'all.